What up, guys? It will be the question of the trial. Why did Dylan wait 8 hours to take action to contact police? I've got all the details, so let's get right into it.
According to the Daily Mail, Ethan Chapin's sister-in-law posted on Reddit that Dee, which we understand to mean Dylan Mortensen, quote, supposedly called all the girls in the house after crying and screaming stopped, and no one answered, and she still didn't call the police. She goes on, quote, she needs to explain herself and her actions that night. We don't have anything more from the sister-in-law on that, but you can bet if she knows something along these lines, she may be a witness.
Crying and screaming. Well, I have always personally believed that there's no way that at least one of those 4 victims did not scream or cry out for help at least a couple times. Before I proceed with my commentary, I want to make it unequivocally clear that this segment is not accusatory towards Dylan at all. The fact of the matter is none of us know precisely what happened that fateful night. All I'm ever intending to do on my channel is to present you all with what I believe to be factual intel and let you all come to your own conclusions. And because most importantly, Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, and Xana deserve justice. So let's get into it. So obviously the first question is, does Ethan have a sister-in-law? In the course of my own research, yes, I determined that Ethan's father was previously married, who has a son who is married. So Ethan factually has a half-brother and a sister-in-law. Also important to keep in mind the timeline. All of these posts that I'm sharing and the interview clip occurred well before the PC affidavit was released. A couple of Ethan's family members were on Reddit and being very vocal and questioning the events of the night, and this was right after the murder. So how do I know all of this? Because I was on Reddit prior to coming to TikTok? Don't ask. And so I saw all of these conversations in real time. I never interacted with the family members, but I saw everything. And if you know anything about Reddit, if you post anything remotely questionable or inauthentic, the mods, it'll get reported, the mods will take it down in milliseconds. These posts stayed up for days, weeks, months. So I have no doubt that they are not rumor or speculation, but actually 100% authentic. There are a couple more Reddit posts I would like to share that give even more insight to what Ethan's family knew early on, and these again are from the sister-in-law. Quote, 911 caller was the friend who went in because Dee called him to come over because she was scared from what she heard in the night. He went to X and E room first and then called 911. Why B or D didn't call the police once is the question. And quote, X and E were in her room.
2 a.m. is a dark hour, I can tell you that. We're all.
Also, Stacey Chapin said in an interview on November 16th, just 3 days after the murders, that quote, 2 a.m. was a dark hour, which to me would call into question the timeline on the PC affidavit. What precisely was going on with Ethan at 2 a.m.? Also important to keep in mind that these posts and interviews were put into the public domain by the Chapins, and they're now considered public record. So if material to the case, I would absolutely assume that they are going to be called as witnesses, as Megyn Kelly alluded to, if not by the state, then definitely by the defense. And are they part of the 400 witnesses Ann Taylor plans to call to the stand next year at trial? So what do you guys think of all of this intel? Did the Chapins know things early on that seemed to contradict the PC affidavit? And it will absolutely be the question of the trial. Why did Dylan wait 8 hours to take action to get a 911 call placed? Talk to me.